So Kajabi have just made a wholesale change to their complete pricing structure for the first time in 10 years. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what that means to you if you are either new to Kajabi, you haven't signed up for Kajabi yet, or you've been in Kajabi for years. We're going to look at what pricing structures are now in place, where to go to find these, how to analyze them, what has changed, and which one is best for you if you are just starting out in online business or if you are a seasoned entrepreneur. Now, pricing is probably the biggest question mark for any entrepreneur looking to use the Kajabi platform. But hopefully in today's video, we're going to break down exactly what that means. And so at the end of this video, you're going to be walking away with an informed decision whether this platform is right for you, because it is not right for everyone at every stage of their entrepreneurial journey. So this is following my previous video on Kajabi Evolved, how Kajabi is evolving and how it's changing its offerings and its pricing structure for the first time in a long while. So to kick things off, I'm going to start on kajabi.com. So here we are on the Kajabi homepage, and if you don't know how to navigate to this, just Google Kajabi or go to kajabi.com. And you can see up here in the top right, this is pricing. Now, if you are brand new to Kajabi, these are the prices, the pricing structure that stands today. So if you were to join today, these are your options. You always have an annual 20% off or a monthly. They're going to get charged differently. So monthly will be every month you're going to get charged this price. And an annual, you're going to get charged the total in one lump sum, but it equates to that 20% discount. Now, first off, what I'm going to do is have a look at some of the changes that have been made. And this is only a few weeks ago. Now, this URL is kajabi.com/2025 pricing updates. Again, not sure how long this page will be live for, but I'm going to showcase exactly what the pricing updates include. So 10 years ago, back in 2015, Kajabi came from a courseware background. So all it did was just courses. Then 2017 added email, 2018 automations, 2019 they had a page builder so you could host your website and build landing pages. Then 2021 saw the rise of the podcasts. So then 2022 we had Kajabi payments. 2023 we had communities as they acquired Vibely, a community platform. And then just last year, 2024, they added a whole bunch newsletters. They added a branded app. They added unlimited downloads. But in 2025, they have remodeled, reworked, and evolved. And just a couple of weeks ago, they launched their biggest update yet, with, as you can see, all of these updates. So what does this mean for you? Now, I'm going to go a bit high level now. It will be a price increase across all plans for existing heroes. But if you are a founder or if you are in beta invite plans, you may not be impacted by these changes. And now they're launching plans and they're launching new features. So the biggest one here, if I scroll down, these are the main changes to the plans. So if you have watched any of my pricing videos before, I talk about these 4 plans. The Kickstarter is the newest plan that was only brought in about 18 months ago. It was beta a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, and then it got sunset, but then they brought it in as a standard plan. So Kickstarter, there is no difference in that plan. So they're looking at the entry level. And if I was starting out on Kajabi, if I was starting my own business, I would probably recommend to start on the Kickstarter plan. And I'm going to show you exactly what you get with the Kickstarter below. Then there becomes the basic. Now the basic has increased from $149 to $179 for the new monthly costings. Growth has gone from $199 to $249, and the Pro has gone from $399 to $499. And as pricing is probably the biggest hurdle when people are new to Kajabi, I would encourage you to get a calculator and add up all the subscriptions that you are paying for your online business and see if you're going to make a saving or not. Just see if it's right for you, because this might not be right if you've just started out and you've started off with something like Wix, for example, and you're not building out any courses, you're not building out community, you just wanted a landing page with a URL. So if you are currently on one of these price plans, if you are currently a Kajabi customer and you do nothing, by January next year, your price will go from the standard price to the new price. So it's going to go from the top level to the bottom level here. If you want some of the features in the new prices, you can make that change now. And this is if you're on pay by monthly, but if you were on an annual plan, it's a bit nuanced. So you've got to look at when your annual plan renews itself. So you might be asking yourself, why the big shift in pricing? Well, I think it's just the cost of doing business. Kajabi do subcontract out a lot of their third-party providers, for example, Wistia. And I think a lot of the prices have just been going up over time, and Kajabi haven't made that price increase. So I think they're being forced to do this as just part of being a profitable business. They've waited 10 years and they've increased this prices wholesale change. So what exactly do you get for this price increase? Now I'm just going to click on this and expand it out. So these are the 4 price tiers and the main things that you actually get. So the first thing here, if you have watched my Kajabi Evolved video, this is all about communities. Community is included on all plans, legacy included, no longer uses a product slot. And all of the community access groups, you can have unlimited access groups. So no matter what plan you are on, you're going to get one community baked in and you're going to get unlimited access groups. Now this is especially good if you're starting on a Kickstarter plan and your product count is 1. Like, you can still have a community and a number of access groups. Kajabi is really focusing in on community for being that first and foremost product that people come to when they visit your site. So here, looking at the product counts, Kickstarter has stayed at 1 product, albeit that community has been taken away. The basic has gone from 3 to 5 products. The growth has gone from 15 to 50, and the pro has gone from 100 to unlimited. So if you have been on any of these plans before and your product count is your restricting factor, then you may want to upgrade or move on to those new pricing models to get that increase in product count. Now, contact counts, Kickstarter has stayed the same at 250. The basic though has interestingly gone from 10,000 down to 2,500. Growth has stayed the same on 25,000, and then the pro being 100,000. Now this is probably one of the biggest factors that I understand and I hear people moving from plan to plan is the following on from the product count. It's the contacts that they can store in their system. So as their audience grows, I suggest moving up the tiers. So I still recommend, if you are starting out on Kajabi, start with a Kickstarter. This is what I did with this brand 3 years ago. So I started on the Kickstarter and I've moved up to the basic and I've moved up to the growth as my business has grown. So it's all about the functionality that your business needs at the time of purchase. Now, Kajabi payments, I will leave this to talk about this in a second because it's very, very nuanced. But then they have a third-party payment provider fee. Kajabi payments came out last year in the UK, before in the US, and it's being rolled out across the rest of the world. Now, Kajabi have actually put this new fee on third-party payments. So if you have access, or if Kajabi payments is available to you in your country where your Kajabi account is, and you are not using it, you're using something like Stripe, you're going to get a 5% fee, you're going to get a 2% fee, 1% fee, and a 0.5% fee depending on the plan that you're currently on. So this just underlines the fact that if you do have Kajabi payments available, they are really incentivizing you to use Kajabi payments. Next then is the branded mobile app. These are all add-ons apart from the pro account where it is included. Now this was $199 a month. They are including it with the pro account. So if you are deciding whether to increase from the growth or the pro, then by putting on $199 worth of branded mobile app, that might be your sign to say, hey, the pro actually makes sense for me now. So then the monthly prices here, this is what we've just had a look at. $89 stayed the same. For the basic, it's gone from $149 to $179. The growth $199 to $249, and then the pro $399 to $499. So if you wanted to go deeper on any of these, this is what happens if you migrate. So it's starting January 13th. If you go from one to the other, this is what you're going to look at. So if I zoom in here a little bit more, and if I look at, say if we were going from the Kickstarter old plan to the Kickstarter new plan, these are the main differences. If we're looking at basic plan from the old to the new, this is what you get. And then old growth to new growth, and then old pro to new pro plan. Now, if you scroll down, some of these new features are on the new plan. So if you wanted access to these new features now, you would have to move over and then start paying the new price. So these here are the universal inbox, comment to DM, and then the cohort courses. So these 3 features are included in the new pro account. along with dedicated success manager, video transcriptions and translations, and getting access to that new API. And like I said, included with the Pro might be your decision to move is the $199 a month branded mobile app. And like I said, I would spend some time going through each of these and having a look whether you do nothing, you stay on your own plan until January, you move now from the old plan to your new plan, or you actually upgrade or even downgrade, depending on what is right for you and your online business. So here are the discounted Kajabi payment fees. Now these are quite nuanced depending on the region you're in. So you've got Australia, Canada, EU, UAE, UK, and US. And then it depends on which plan you're on. So you've got Kickstarter is bundled in with basic, and then you have growth, and then you have pro. So depending on your marketplace, so for me, I'm going to look at UK, depends on what type of card is to be used, will then determine what percentage fee you're going to get when you pay. So I would have a look at this table, study it, have a look at your marketplace, and then have a look at what fees you're going to get. So for me, this is just the cost of doing business. It's very similar to if you were just going to be using Stripe as a way of taking online payments. These fees would be very, very similar depending on your marketplace and depending on how that transaction is processed. So coming out of this and scrolling down a little bit more, these are just the third-party payment providers fees. So again, Kickstarter, you're going to get that 5%. So that might be a decision to move up to basic. Basic's 2%, growth 1%, and pro is 0.5%. They do have a bunch of frequently asked questions here, but if you were just going to read this entire page and maybe watch this video also, you're going to get most of your questions answered. And if you are a current Kajabi customer, you can always reach out to billing either through the chat in your portal or just reach out to billing@kajabi.com. But if you are brand new to Kajabi, if you go onto the homepage and click pricing, these are the live prices as of today for the Kickstarter, the basic, the growth, and the pro. So it is just a matter of looking at all of these price plans and matching what your business requirements are. There is no point in going onto the pro when a Kickstarter would do, or going onto the basic when actually you need the growth plan because of the number of products or the number of contacts you have in your list. And on their live Kajabi pricing page, you also have all your plan features, the third-party integrations, the platform and creator tools here that you get, all the new features, the sales and monetization, the automation and customer management, and the team and brand management. So my advice to you, if you are a current Kajabi user and you're paying monthly, a top tip might be, well, if you just simply move to an annual plan, you're going to save that 20%. So if you work this out as the payment increase is going to be 20 to 25%, you might be able to eat that with just simply switching from a monthly to an annual payment subscription. But if you're a current Kajabi user and you believe that you're on some sort of bespoke subscription, I would always recommend reaching out to billing. So either within your portal under your settings or just emailing billing@kajabi.com and discuss with them what would happen if you did one of the 4 options. So if you did nothing until mid-January where you moved from the old plan to the new plan, if you did something today and moved from the old plan to the new plan, or if you just simply changed from a monthly to an annual billing, or in fact, if you changed your payment subscription to either a growth to a pro or from say a basic down to a Kickstarter. So if you were moving your plans, they would be able to identify exactly what that would mean to you. So for one, I am excited to try out some of these new functionalities that Kajabi have added in response to their wholesale pricing change. But like I said before, if you're brand new to Kajabi, haven't opened an account yet, I have an offer for you. As a Kajabi partner, I can get you 30 days extended free trial. That's over double the 14-day trial available to the public just by using my link. All you need to do is head to timpeakman.com/Kajabi and you can check out some of the awesome bonuses I offer on that page. Yes, it is an affiliate link, but all that means is part of your payment will come back to me in support of this channel at no extra cost to you if you continue to use Kajabi after those 30 free days. But as soon as you sign up to Kajabi using my link, I'm going to grant you a free offer. It's called Kajabi Unboxed. This is the program I wish I had when I started my first Kajabi account. This is what I would do first, second, third, and fourth, unboxing a Kajabi account to set it up in the right way, ready for scale. And if you go past those 30 free days and use it for your entire online business, then as a second thank you from me, I'm going to grant you a second program. It's called Kajabi Sales Page Templates. All you need to do is reach out to me, tim@timpeakman.com, and I'm going to grant you this second offer. And you can simply download these templates in a theme and upload them into your Kajabi account. These are the sales pages that I use in my online business to sell my products and services. So that link once more, timpeakman.com/Kajabi. Check out some of those bonuses. So hopefully by now you've got a better understanding of the pricing structures available to you and your online business and what to do about it moving forward. So that's it from me. I can't wait to see you on the very next video.